So I'm Paula, and I've been working in Telefonica for almost 10 years. Today I'm responsible for the data scientist team. And well, I'm here to share with you a bit of what we have been doing since we started all of these initiatives regarding big data. I'll be going through why Telefonica is putting effort and investment on this subject, some of the challenges that we have faced and how we are dealing with them, 3 use cases that we succeed and we are already delivering results, and at the end, finally, what will be the next steps for our team. So starting from the context that we have been part of, we all are aware of this exponential growth that we have been facing. So in mobile traffic, we see here that things are going to explode in the next years. And also, if we take a look at the most valuable companies today in the world, we see that the most valuable asset is not oil anymore, it's data. So also, we are using lots of products and services that don't exist in a physical way, and we couldn't even imagine some of them 20 years ago. And we are facing a lot of disruption in the market. For example, this physical world and the digital world, when we see these exponential organizations that don't have physical assets and they are able to grow exponentially because of that. And in the entertainment market, we have this example of Netflix that already overcome the cable TV in the United States. So we have been through lots of transformation in the world. Also, we see that half of the companies in the Fortune 500 had already disappeared. And Gartner is predicting that in the next 5 years, companies are going to be value regarding their data assets, the value of the data that they possess. And also, if in the organization structure you have a CDO, for example, these companies are going to be better valued also. So Telefonica is part of this context, and we saw this in 2013. We already had an advanced analytics area, but we were using like the traditional data that we have in our data warehouse, using logistic regression, decision trees, basic modeling approaches. And then our IT started building a Hadoop cluster so we could be able to bring data that we couldn't store in a DW environment. So in 2014, we had our first Hadoop cluster using a Hortonworks distribution. And we saw that we needed specific skills and specific professionals to deal with this new environment. So we started hiring the first data scientists in 2015 and testing the value of this new data, trying to make a proof of concepts of some use cases. And only last year we could develop and deploy some use cases that at the end are already delivering truly results. And in this year we are facing a big transformation regarding the infrastructure, because we are going to cloud. So we will have a hybrid environment between an on-premise cluster and a cloud big data cluster. And in all of this journey, we could see and face lots of challenges. So just to clarify, for Telefonica, big data is not limited to a technology or applications or just a data repository. We need to get value from it. Nonetheless, we are not making big data. So this V of value, it's not an easy thing to do. And everyone puts their attention in the tip of the iceberg, right? The use cases development. But we have a lot below that. And starting from the bottom, we struggled a lot to have this big data infrastructure stable and with a good performance. So at the end, I don't know if you can read here, but your brand new Hadoop cluster is perceived as slow, not so used, and not reliable. And that was something that we could face for real. And we conclude that it was better to go to cloud, because investing in infrastructure and, of course, skilled people to take care of this environment would be really hard. So adopting a cloud services will give access to a wide variety of tools and applications, and let us be able to extract this value, and also use all of these newest applications regarding cognitive computing and artificial intelligence. So another thing that we could learn was about the data scientists, right? We all know this diagram, and although it's really simple, it's very hard to find someone that has all of these three skills, right? The business, knowledge, mathematics and statistics, and also coding and programming. But this is not enough. We saw that we need more than that. We need communication, storytelling skills. We also need big data, cloud computing, visualization, also domain of this kind of tools. And most important are what we call the soft skills. So we need to add in this thing here, skills like problem-solving mindset, because we need to be able to tackle complex problems and divide them into very simple pieces. Sense of curiosity and initiative. We need to be able to translate technical and non-technical subjects. We need to be diplomatic sometimes, because data could at the end conclude something that is different from the high polls. I don't know if you have heard the highest paid person opinion. So you need, at the end, our goal is to be heard and make them take the right decisions. So we need to deliver the conclusions in a better way, so they don't mute us. Teamwork, of course, and also handle ambiguity, because in a huge company, it's really part of our daily basis deal with things that are not so clear, in complex situations. So we need to be able not to suffer a lot with this kind of stuff. And if we find someone that has all that, it is very hard to, this unicorn, maybe there will be too much trouble. So at the end, it's better to work in multidisciplinary teams. That's what everyone is talking about. And a data science team should have all of these roles, right? Not only data scientists, but Scrum Master, data visualization specialists, data engineers, developers, data architects. And working together, let us be able to deliver the right things that we are able to. So now, giving some examples of the use cases that we have built, starting from media mix modeling. I don't know if you know what it is, media mix. It's a kind of a model that is used to understand how media spend affects our business, right? It's usually a time series model, and it uses a lot of inputs like sales, price, product distribution, media spent in different channels, a lot of factors like macroeconomic forces, weather, seasonality, market competition, lots of things. And we are able to understand how all of these inputs affect an output that in our case we used sales and revenue. And at the end we can also deliver very good tools like baseline forecasting. We are able to forecast sales and revenue with very short error. Ad stock analysis, that it's kind of the memory of the media. We all know that the media has a memory effect. The saturation of the media, what is the ROI of these campaigns, and deliver some recommendations regarding how we can buy the media. So for example, here you can see the fitting of the modeling. We are modeling here recharges, and we have a map that is less than 1% monthly, so it's a very well-adjusted model. And it's very good for business forecasting. So the marketing teams is using this not only to decide how to buy media, but also to forecast sales and revenue. Here we have the ad stock effect. It's like the carryover of each in each campaign. For example, you see a TV campaign, and this effect can affect us during some days, right? We call the halftime effect, when this effect came to the half of its intensity. So in this case, for prepaid sales, the colors showed us how is the intensity of the media per day, and the line is the ad stock effect. So you see that when we don't have any media, we still have effect of the previous media that was on TV, for example. And in the prepaid case, we have a half-time effect that lasts from 20 to 22 days, almost a month. And also we can deliver guidelines, because we are able to understand how the media saturate, right? So we have this saturation point. When you put more media, you don't have any incremental effect. And when you add the costs of this media, the curve will cross the zero, and you will have three zones here. The underinvesting, so you can increment to maximize your contribution. Overspending, you are above the maximum contribution point, so you can control the investment to improve your margin. And then after the zero, you have a negative zone, negative contribution. Your ROI is less than 1, and it's prohibited investment, right? You are losing money. And we can have at the end the ROI of each campaign. So for example, YouTubers, that was a media that we had in the TV, had a 1.4 ROI. Everything that it's above 1, it's a good investment, because at the end we divide the incremental results per the total cost of the media. Another example with the network optimization. We could use very granular information to better prioritize our network capex investment. So we could use how our customers commute and what are their churn and revenue per user. So we could use all that to decide which region would be most important to have to receive an investment. So we could increase the granularity of the model and also take into account lots of business KPIs that weren't considered before. And the third one is a very common use case. It's a churn example. We already had other churn models, but in this case we could use more variables and also compare different machine learning approaches to see what will be the best classification performance and also computing performance. At the end, the random forest was the best one, and we could reach, for example, here we can reach 41% of the churners just talking to 5% of our customer base. It's a very good result, but at the end we have other challenges, like it's not enough to have a good result in a machine learning product if you can't get involved the business areas. So you need to involve them since the beginning, because at the end you can find a little bit of resistance. Finally, I would like to talk about Aura. That is our next challenge. So Telefonica not only see opportunity using data to optimize its operational cash flow, but also how to deal with this problem that we have with our customers. We have a very fragile relationship. We all know that telecommunications have too much trouble with their customers in terms of customer care. And Aura, the proposition here is to create a closer relationship that is based on 4 pillars: simplify, enrich, empower, and discover. So at the end, we will use cognitive computing and artificial intelligence that are already built, for example, in Microsoft, in Cortana intelligence services. And we will be able to understand what are our customers' needs by NLP, from the beginning, just text, and at the end using speech also. And behind it, we will deal with these cases, building machine learning models. For example, if our customer needs to understand details of their bundle, or check how much data is left, or if he needs bill details, we can respond to these questions just as a voice command. And in this case, we are talking about simplify, that makes complex process very easy. Today, these simple questions takes a lot of effort of our customers to get the responses. Enrich, that we will be able to notify and anticipate problems for our customers. For example, if its data, it's almost at the end, we can advise him that he could get another package, make an upgrade for a better plan that it's better fitted for its usage pattern. Empower, it's like giving transparency. So, for example, showing in a simple timeline all of the interactions that you had with the company. And discover, when we can deliver benefits, when we put together third parties and Telefonica. So we use your data to bring you back some benefit. Of course, if you want to, because all that will work if you are willing to use it. It's not something that we will not consider. Well, that's it. I think my time is...
Thank you very much, Paula. Please, everyone.